Yo guys, so you guys kind of blew up the last video. The last video blew up, which is great. I had a lot of insights on why it did, on why people liked it. It's because you guys said it was because I'm very honest and raw and chill. So I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit surprising. I'm somebody who struggles a lot with letting people in on my thoughts and into my world, which is kind of the reason I started this channel to begin with, the reason I started uploading things, and the reason I never told anybody about it. You know, I told some people like, hey, I'm uploading a few videos, but I would never tell them like what the name of the channel was or anything like that, because I have a history of starting things and not finishing them. I think it's my biggest problem in life. One of the biggest problems is that I would always start things and I would never finish them. I'm not saying that you need to finish everything. It really depends on, if it's worth finishing. And if it's worth it, it means, is it worth it for you? On paper, I'm a chef de partie. But I don't like to cook. I'm not really, I think I'm gonna fall in love with it again one day. I'm sure. I think now, I felt the pressure of having to finish it, of going through culinary school and doing everything, even though I didn't like it, but I felt like I had to, and I think it was necessary because it made me a stronger person. And I think coming to terms with the fact that, who I really am is somebody who's very, there's two people inside of who we really are, I think. There's one, the person that we should be, which is our ideal person, the one where we use our potential and go against our weaknesses and accept our inadequacies and take the path that we want. Like we follow our heart and we follow, I don't know, we become disciplined following the path, right? Everybody has their own path. And then there's the side of you of who you really are, which is the lazy person who constantly gives up as soon as things get hard, and who's too sensitive and too naive, and I'm that, I am a very, very sensitive, very naive, very lazy person inside, and I've been that person for the longest time, and I hate it. And now I've become a more serious person. I thought about this today. I've been thinking a lot about what I should talk about in the next video, which is a bit ironic because in the previous video I didn't think too much about it. I'll be honest, I'm a bit in shock that so many people connected to it, which is, I think it's great. I knew that one day, I want to do this, and I want to start a business, and I want to build a program where I can help people in some way. I still have to figure it out. I'm scared of that too, so I need my time. But I don't like to talk about things I want to do because, as I was saying before, I have a history of not finishing things, right? And the worst part I could do, and what I do and sometimes do by accident, is to tell people the plans that I have. I would encourage everybody to not do that, and myself too. So forget about the program. There's no program. There's no program. There's no academy. There's so much shit that I don't have figured out. But I figured one thing out today, which I really felt the switch. And it's very rare that I feel like a real switch. And it was that, you know, I can take anything on if I just understand that it's the same cycle every single day, all the time, over and over again. I am just a fool learning things over and over again. It's like that, was it Sisyphus? I'm probably butchering the name of that guy in Greek mythology who pushes that stone up, right? And it falls back. And it's like the never ending hustle, hurdle, whatever you want to call it. Because I'm practicing this new latte art thing, and it's just like, I just was like, okay, you know, I'm still just learning. Another thing, and I'm trying to be more patient with myself. And I don't mean like, oh, it's okay, you're fine. No, it's quite the contrary. I think I've learned to become more, to push myself more and to say like, come on, you can do this. Like, stop fucking around. Stop quitting all the times. Just, you can do this. But what I mean with patience is, I'm still so young, and I'm going through a big change in my life. I moved continents. I moved out of home. I don't have any friends here. I'm going through a breakup. You know, it's just a lot. You know, I have a new job, and it's it's a lot. It's a lot. It really is. So I think in that department, I think I just need to be patient with myself more. So the switch that I was talking about, it was just that, you know. Yeah. You guys are very kind. I saw a lot of great comments. And I think this video is going to flop. It's not going to be as fun or entertaining as the other one probably, but it's a grind. Oh, the thing I wanted to say is I've become a more opposite version of that non-ideal version of those two parts. There's the one where you use the full potential, and then there's the other one where I am just lazy and anxious, and I am a stressed out person who gives up and who hates himself and socially awkward in a way, and because he's just incredibly naive and desperate, and a people pleaser, big people pleaser. So I've become kind of I'm counteracting that by going a bit to the opposite, which is I've realized like I thought I make friends easily. I can talk to anybody. I'm amazing at first impressions. All right. If I'm at a party or something, I can put on this facade of confidence, and it's very, because sometimes it's real confidence and other times it's a facade, you know, and it's become scary because I realize like I don't know when am I being really confident and when I'm not, when it's just like me being smooth, you know, because it's like, of course you can be shallow, of course there's times to be a bit shallow, there's always times to be a bit like smooth and like feel yourself and all that, and that's cool, you know, but other times I feel like it's just I'm just faking it completely. And it doesn't feel good, you know. It doesn't, because it's like, oh my God, like that's how insecure I am. Once you figure out that with yourself, like everything that you do, it's like it's a projection from what's going on inside. So most of the times, a lot of the times, when somebody is very loud and very like, oh, look at how confident I am, I think a lot of the times, if not most of the times, they're very insecure. And I realize that a lot with like very attractive people too. They have so many insecurities. I feel for them, you know, I feel for them in that way, you know. Talking about feeling for people who you might think don't deserve it. I had this guy come in the other day, very wealthy guy, and usually a really nice guy, and he's a regular at our shop. And he was an asshole to me that day. He yelled at me and stuff, and it was just like I was in shock. I was like, what? Really now? Like really? And he was in the wrong, quite in the wrong. But somehow, I just I was just like, God or the universe or life itself or just the opportunity at hand is it's a great opportunity to for me to learn to control my anger, to stay more professional, to see. I instantly thought in my head like, okay, this is a test. It's a test. It's a test to see how much have I learned. It's a test. I'm currently watching The Matrix, or rewatching it. I watched it when I was a kid, and I'm watching it now, and wow, it's great. If you get the chance to watch them, they're great. I felt empathy for that man, even though he was being an asshole. I felt empathy because it's embarrassing for someone like him to lose his temper. That's why I felt. Obviously, I'm not gonna feel empathy towards him in this naive or even stupid way. I just felt bad for him because, oh, that's embarrassing. You know, he lost his temper. It's very embarrassing. And he felt the need to like make his point so that it wouldn't be embarrassing and stuff. So I get it, you know. He was frustrated, he was stressed out, and he let it out on me in that moment, and it was embarrassing, you know. And it's such a I've been practicing this for years now, unwillingly and willingly. I think a lot of it unwillingly, because I was just very naive. But yeah, empathy. It's just such a great tool, you know. It really is this like, you have no enemies, and I get it now, like, oh my God. Now it makes sense though, you have no enemies, now I get it. Because in reality, everybody's just, you know, very insecure and stuff. And I mean, look, I am no, I realize this a lot. Whenever I toughen up on the outside and stuff, it's just because I'm thinking, you know, like, I'm sure everybody does this, but I'm just thinking like, oh man, like, I'm just in my head, you know, I'm thinking about everybody else's perceptions, when in reality, nobody gives a fuck, right? I still struggle with this. I do. I've been thinking about what I should say for this video, actually. And I'm realizing now that I shouldn't. It's just gonna come to me, and this is the path that I want, and this was my mission to begin with, and it might change along the way, but let's just see how far this goes. I'm gonna take it as far as I can, for sure. Thank you for watching. I don't appreciate it when people think of us humans as a cancerous thing on this world. I'm astounded by myself because I was somebody growing up who never felt like I never felt like I was good enough, or just like I never thought I would fit in. I never felt like I was a part of any group whatsoever. And I could have really turned against the world, and sometimes, very recently, I felt it sometimes where I was just like, fuck this, man, like, it's so annoying, like, everything's so annoying, and everybody's just being such a cunt, and it's just why, but no, I just don't see it that way. Everybody's just trying their best, you know? There's a lot of people that, you know, I have a few bosses and this and that, and sometimes they can do a bad job, and sometimes they can not say the right thing. But I just, again, I go back to empathy without noticing it. I'm just like, yeah, but I really wouldn't want to have their job, you know? It sucks. Like, they're putting in like 100 hours a week. They haven't seen their kids in who knows how long. They have so much shit on their shoulders, like so much pressure. And I'm crumbling down here, you know? Something about pressure. It really makes diamonds, you know? It does. I wish it wasn't that way. Because like I said, deep inside, I'm lazy, and I'm an anxious person, and I'm scared, and I'm hurt, and I have this void inside. I want to fill that void myself. I want everybody to be able to realize, people who've been in my position, and I mean, I think anybody, really. We all have that void. We're all just trying our best, and some of us don't really know where to go, and that's fine. But just remember, we are all very similar in a way. You know, you're special, I'm special, yeah, but those kind of things are we're all very similar in that. That's what makes us all equal, I think. Because we all have that pain, right? We all have that void. I would love to do a Q&A if you're interested in that. Just let me know in the comments. Ask me anything and I'll answer them, because I already saw a few questions, but I just don't get to it. Yep. I think that's it. There were some things I wanted to say, but I forgot. They'll come around in a different video. Just know, I'm scared of posting every single time. And the reason I put myself out there is to not be afraid of letting people in, because I'm struggling with that now. I realize that the reason I thought I'm good at making friends, but the reason I think I'm not so good at making friends now is because I don't trust people, and I'm afraid of letting them in. So I'm working on that. But yeah, everything has its price. I'm counteracting this side of me, and now I have new problems, right? Problems never go away. They just become better problems. So, yeah. So you guys have a good one.